Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever it is, wherever you are. My name is Katie O, and this is Moon Mama Musings. Welcome back to my living room for another astrology peephole. For today, the 23rd of September 2021, we have a waning gibbous moon, which will transit from the sign of Aries to the sign of Taurus at 1938 Bangkok time. Some of you, this will happen on the 22nd still, but for me in Thailand, it is on the 23rd. We have something very special happening today, as well as the moon transit, is we have the autumnal, the fall equinox. So the sun is transiting to the sign of Libra, and today, the 23rd of September 2021, it is the equinox. All right. Very, very, very interesting energy. I am going to talk about Libra season in live. I'm going to talk about the equinox in live. I want to just briefly go over the other aspects today in here, and then over on live, I'll talk your ears off about the sort of ins and outs of the equinox and Libra season. Get ready to hear me talk a lot today, my friends. I've not been around for a little bit, so you're going to have to endure me talking your bloody ears off. All right, I do want to note, however, that it's very interesting that we're kicking off Libra season with the moon in Taurus. Libra and Taurus are the two, like, Venus-ruled signs. That there are Venusian energies through and through. So, guys, this equinox might even be more important than the full moon from a few days ago. All right? Because now it's about starting the new thing. The door has closed in that full moon, and now we want to open it to this secret garden, to this, like, it opening up to the pastures, opening up to freedom, okay? Either way, Libra, Taurus, Venusian energies, they are very, they're compassionate, they are creative, they are full of love, they are full of hope, they're full of drive, they're sexual, they're beautiful, we are being called right now in this equinox with this Libra season, with a Taurian moon, to bring the beauty back into our lives, my friends. Remember what it is that you love. Remember what it is that you find beautiful, that makes you happy, that makes you feel warm and fuzzy. Do the things that you love. All right? You might have put things on the back burner for some time now, but it's time. Get back to you. Get back to Venusian energies that benefit your heart and soul. All right? Okay, let's move to the astrology. The moon in Taurus is making a sextile with Jupiter, which is retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. This is welcoming things with open arms. This is opening that door and being like, yes, thank God. It's like being in a stuffy kitchen. You've been cooking in a stuffy kitchen, but you were doing something that really required that temperature to be constant in the room. And now you're like, I am done with this. You're opening up the door and letting it breeze in and letting all that hot oven air escape from the room and bring in a fresh breath. All right? People may seem different today, somehow. It could just be like you woke up and you see the world in a different light. It's like, oh my God, everything is shiny all of a sudden. It's like putting on one of those Instagram or Snapchat filters, right? Where it's like your eyes are really big and there's like gigantic eyelashes and you're like a fucking butterfly or something like that. I don't know, but there's like little stars all over the darn place, just like yesterday in that lullaby card. The harshness, dismissiveness, rigidity could have suddenly transformed to understanding, openness, fluidity, surrender. And this could be you, this could be others. But either way, I feel that with this equinox, with this change of sun sign, taking ourselves out of intense Virgo into a little bit more compassionate and fluid Libra, it brings a new light, okay? So nurturing Venusian energy in the air makes us feel very lovey-dovey also. I got the vision of, in Bambi when the spring hits. And it's like Thumper and Flower are just like not interested in hanging out with their mate Bambi anymore. They're like, little girl bunny and little girl skunk are kind of way more interesting than you, Bambi. Like, nothing against you, man. Love you. But, instinct calls, right? So something is calling you to, your instinct is calling you. You're literally, your destiny calls. It's Venusian, it's beautiful, it's happy, it's full of love, it's creative, and it's calling you, and you're unable to deny it anymore. You've got little heart eyes, and that's it. You're done for. Okay. All right. The moon is making a square with Pluto now. All right, so Pluto is now briefing the emotional subconscious part of us about the structural change that needs to occur. Yesterday, Pluto was dealing with Mercury, going like, okay, we're going into the equinox, we're changing signs, we are going into retrograde very soon. There's a lot of Libra energy. Here's what we have to do. The general, this is the game plan. Do you choose to accept your mission? And Mercury went, yeah, sure. And then it says this video will self-destruct in 35 seconds. And Mercury went, cool, no problem. Pitches it out the window. All good. Well, the moon is receiving the same transmission now. Slightly different for its particular case, but it's receiving a similar energy where Pluto's sitting opposite the moon at a table. It's a square, right? It's a challenging, obstacle-filled aspect. Pluto, the general, is sitting across the table from the moon going, all right, I've talked to the warrior. The warrior's on board. What about you now? Because the moon tends to, can kind of put a stick in the spokes of the wheel of the warrior if they're not on the same page. So let's get you guys on the same page. I heard it happens in the shadows. Okay, so this right now, whereas the Mercury making it square with Pluto was kind of more in our masculine energy, more in our light energy, more in our giving energy. This one is going to be more in our receiving energy, in our moon energy, in our dark energy, in our shadows. So the Taurus moon has the toughness needed to navigate this energy. It's a very mother bear energy I got, is that Pluto is coming to the moon and going, look, I briefed Mars and we had to keep it light because Mars is the warrior, right? They live in the light. But you, the moon, live in the darkness. So this is going to be a little bit heavier. But you're in the sign of Taurus, so you're tough enough to deal with this. You are resilient enough to deal with this. You've got the horns, you've got the hooves, you've got the bull energy. You are going to move forward towards that matador, waving that red sheet without hesitation when you're in this Taurus moon. It's like Pluto wanted to wait for the moon to be in Taurus so that it could gather its thoughts before it talked a bit. Maybe in the sign of Aries, it's a little bit too, I'm ready to make a new start. And in the sign of Gemini, it's too, let's look at both sides of this situation. We needed to hit it right in the sign of Taurus, where Taurus is a little bit more, it can be tough love, right? But it's that motherly, nurturing energy. So I'm hearing a mother bear. There is a mother bear, very prevalent energy in this. All right. So maybe some of you guys, the bear is really important symbolism for you. This mother bear energy is really, really coming forth. So remember, a mother bear can be the most terrifying and vicious animal in the world should you approach its cubs. But if you were a fly on the wall watching it behave with its cubs, it's a very different creature. All right. Okay. We have the moon also making an opposition with Mercury. Oh, surprise, surprise. The two planetary bodies that Pluto has sat down and briefed are now sitting, they're having a tug of war. It's almost like they're going, but Pluto told me this. And the other one's going, no, but Pluto told me this. And it's like, wait a minute, guys. Pluto told you the same thing, except from two different perspectives. All right. So you guys are not competing, really. We need you to work together now. So maybe they start off with a tug of war. Maybe they start off with tension. Maybe this day, the 23rd, starts off with us feeling a little bit tense, like we're being pulled from two opposite ends. But sooner or later, these two energies are going to realize, oh my God, this is literally the same message said in two different languages. It's almost like the moon speaks English and French, and Mercury speaks English and Spanish. And Pluto spoke to the moon in French, and Pluto spoke to Mercury in Spanish. And they both got the same messages in two different languages. And those two entities coming together now, maybe because they're doing the translation and trying to communicate it together, they're missing the subtleties, the nuances of what the original messages was by translating it. But it's only once they collaborate, once they come together and compare the notes properly, do they realize, oh my fucking God, Pluto's given us the same mission, but it just looked different because it was in two different languages, if that makes sense to you. So this is a collaborating energy on the changes that Pluto has dictated as necessary. Pluto, the general, has gone, this is what we need to do in order to let this thing die and let this thing be born, to close this door and walk through the next, to go through this transformation that we've been seeking so desperately. All right. This is what we have to do. And the moon and Mercury need to come together on one plane. I'm being called, again, guys, remember, Mercury retrograde is on the way. We are already in the shadow. 27th, only a few short days away, Mercury goes into retro. The moon can be a watery energy in general, right? It can be a little bit secret-filled, a little bit convoluted, a little bit not so concrete, right? So we are being called to just go with the flow of what we feel necessary right now, what we feel called to do, and not think too much about how this can be illusory, okay? Because maybe we need to live in a little bit of illusion for the moment to have some sort of a disillusionment that brings us to actually where we need to be. I don't know. It'll be different for each of you guys. But either way, do not think too much about what the Mercury at retrograde energy can bring in terms of the confusion of stuff, and just go with the flow for now. Trust that wherever you feel fit to move towards is exactly where you need to be right now. You've done a lot of changing, you've done a lot of learning, and you need to trust that you are able to make the proper decisions to bring you to the place that you need to be. Okay, last but not least, Venus is in opposition with Uranus. Venus, beautiful planet in the sign of Libra. Uranus retrograde in the sign of Taurus. Okay, these are literally the two energies that we're talking about today. This is an extra. They're reminding you that what I said at the beginning of this video about the Venusian energies coming true now, coming into play for the next little while. We've got lots of Venusian energies, lots of abundance, lots of love, lots of creativity, lots of sexuality, lots of creation, lots of deliberation in a way as well. Because remember, Libra energy is about tipping the scales. Lots of micro adjustments. All right, it's all this interesting stuff. Oh my god, I just realized I've made a mistake. I was talking about Mars in the sign of Virgo, and it did change on the 15th. Okay, so, hey guys, I've made a little mistake in some of my... I don't remember if it's yesterday's video or just today's video. I think it was yesterday's video, where I talked about Mars in the sign of Virgo, and it's not. Mars is in the sign of Libra since the 15th of September. So I've made a mistake, but hey, look, no mistakes, right? Mercury energy, exactly what I was talking about. I had to go with the flow. I went with the flow. I talked about what it was. Okay, Mars is actually in the sign of Libra, where it makes micro adjustment, where it makes little changes, where it's making movements forward. All right. Maybe for a second it was clinging back to that Virgo energy, but no, it's embracing the Libra energy now. We've got the Libra energy way more prevalent. But either way, we've got lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of Venusian energies. Okay, lots and lots and lots of Venusian energies. Venus is in the sign. Okay, yeah, there we go. And we made a mistake too, because Venus is not in the sign of Libra. Venus is in the sign of Scorpio. Sorry, guys. Mercury retrograde energies are blah, 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 blah. It's Mercury that's in the sign of Libra. So we have Scorpio and Taurus vibes coming together. Okay, so this tells me that for some time, so first of all, Venusian energies are changing right now. Okay, now Venusian energies are changing. Venusian energies are coming into play. We are having this big change. Okay, it was just 13:11 on the timer. But remember, Venus in the sign of Scorpio changes the way we see these Venusian energies, right? We may have once seen Venusian energies as scary, right? Sexuality, love, creativity, all beauty, all of those things. It's like, oh no, that's not for me. That's not for me. No. That's just too much. But it's all changing now, and it's becoming more and more appealing. Either way, there are changes happening. Remember, Uranus is the sign of unexpected change, but in retrograde in the sign of Taurus makes it not so unexpected. It makes it way more, it can be tough love energy. It can be a little bit difficult. It can be the bull charging straight at you, right? But either way, it brings change, and the change is what's necessary now. Venus needs to get on board with this change. Venus needs to understand that when it's in Scorpio, it's all about the way that it closes one door and changes to the next. It's all about the way it closes out one cycle of the way we see these energies and how it moves towards the next one. So I think that's really lovely. Remember, an opposition is a tug of war, right? These two energies need to pull on one side, one on either side of whatever it is that they're pulling on. And either the rope snaps or they come to some collaboration together where they realize that, oh boy, we're really kind of working for the same thing here, but we're pulling in opposite directions. So how can we collaborate to better get this common goal to come to fruition? All right, I'm pulling one card from the Divine Feathers. Let's see what we got for today. I will be live a little bit later, so we'll get more cards there. We have the Goose. Your dreams and desires are calling you to action. The journey begins today. The Golden Goose. I'm hearing the Golden Goose with its golden eggs. Okay, the Golden Goose has finally, this little goose that we saw and went, oh, maybe it's a Canadian goose too, by the way. People, my people. These guys are real dickheads, by the way. If ever you've been to Canada and actually encountered a Canadian goose, they are assholes. Besides the point. This asshole of a goose has turned into the Golden Goose and laid golden eggs, and now we're like, oh my fucking God, right? But the journey begins today. What did I say earlier? Venusian energy needs to change right now. It's changing right now. This is confirmation, okay? The goose, the Golden Goose especially, is changing right now. This Venusian energy is under evolution. Mate now, right now. All right. So be prepared if all of a sudden you find a golden egg in your living room. It's all destined. It's all meant to be. All right. Don't freak out over that golden egg too. Yeah, you're going to have to take care of another little goose once it pops out. But it's going to be a golden goose. Okay? And that golden goose is all about, it's all about good stuff, right? Who knows? Maybe that egg hatches and it's just money everywhere. I don't know. Venusian energy, though. We're transforming it. Okay, what have we got? Dilemma and allow. Okay, so you are experiencing right now this dilemma, this tug of war between these two energies, right? But they're being called, they're calling you just to allow whatever you feel called to happen. Just go with the flow. Let this stuff, let your body go. Let your mind be free. Just go with the flow and allow whatever is coming for you to come in, okay? Because you want this collaborative energy. You want this Three of Cups. You want a celebration. You want to be presented with the things that you are meant for, right? Well, you're still, maybe some of you guys are still overthinking things a little bit too much, right? But they want you to just go with the flow. They're saying, don't worry about Mercury retrograde, okay? Put it out of your mind. Don't worry about it. All of the things that are happening in the astrology, and we'll discuss this more and more. I do feel that all the things that are happening in this particular retrograde astrology, again, this year's Mercury retrogrades have been different than the other years, I'm feeling. They have way more, it's going to be okay energy. And you know what? Look back on your other Mercury, on the previous Mercury retrograde. What happened for you there? Yes, I'm sure it was difficult. Yes, I'm sure it was super uncomfortable. But when you look at it on the grand scheme of things, was it really that bad? Okay? I'm willing to wager a guess that for most of you, it really wasn't that bad because it actually did bring some really good things to you. Some necessary changes that have helped you move more delicately through all of these difficult situations that you've been encountering for the last couple of months. Okay, I am heard and giving up. Okay, this is a very specific message for some of you guys. Okay, very specific messages. Some of you guys have had an opportunity in the past that you have given up on, and whatever is involved in that opportunity knows it. Okay, they know that you are no longer putting your energy towards this thing that you and even they thought that you would always put your energy to. It's the energy of like, maybe you worked for somebody in the past and you had a really good relationship with them and they told you, I'm starting a new business and I'm going to have a job for you. And it's just taken so fucking long that you're like, I don't think that it's actually going to happen. Okay. So you get a job, you get another job. And then this person, as they're still setting up their business, sees that you have a new job and they're like, fuck, I screwed up. Like I didn't go, like I should have been, it's almost like they're like, ugh, I should have known that somebody would come and take this person up before if I didn't act soon enough. And I was dragging my feet on getting that position ready for them. And now, oh my God, it might be too late. Doesn't mean that they might not come and offer you still this job, but it means that they see that you've given up on them. And maybe for some of you, this puts the fire under their ass to actually move towards you and go, I don't know if it's too late, but here, this is my offer. I really do want to still put it out there for you because like, I do really think that we could benefit from this, right? Doesn't mean you have to take that offer, right? But it does mean that whoever it is that has been thinking of you for some offer, whatever you have been feeling as if there's an offer coming for you, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not still coming, but it means that you're not worried so much about it anymore. And this is a really great energy because when you're not worrying about it, when you're giving up on it, quote unquote, you're kind of allowing, you're not feeding into the dilemma energy anymore. You're just allowing things to happen. And this is where you make the magic happen. Okay, you guys have been wanting to manifest something great lately. And it feels like it hasn't come to fruition. But now that you've finally given up on it, it will come to you. It's like, again, I've been talking about this for a very, very long time. It's that a particle is simultaneously a particle and a wave at once. It just depends on your perspective. If you're looking at it all the time, it's a particle. It's in the field. It's present, okay? But if you stop looking at it, boop, off it goes to the infinite possibility field, to the quantum field, and it becomes potential energy, all right? So if you've been wanting something and you're constantly watching it, constantly monitoring it, constantly, it has no room to move back into the potential field and make magic happen. But as soon as you take your attention off of it, off it goes to the potential energy field to find exactly its proper, most natural way of being. And then, whoop, it comes back into the field when it's more appropriate. Okay? Divine timing. Guys, for some of you, divine timing has been crucial in all this stuff that you want to do. I don't know what that means for you, but divine timing. All right, my dears, I gotta go. I will be live later today on Instagram, depending on when you're watching this, for the equinox and for the moon transit to Taurus. And until then, I'm so sorry for anything you're going through if I've made you feel a certain way. Thank you very much for being a beautiful, beautiful being and lending your energy to this circuit that I hold so dear. Thank you equally to your guides, my guides, the Ascended Masters, angels, and whatever energies have been involved in getting these beautiful messages to us for our highest good. In divine timing. Remember, these readings are timeless, so whether you find it today, tomorrow, or in the near or distant future, there should be a message for you in here, and I want to thank all the powers that be that were involved in finding it. I love you to the moon and stars and infinity and beyond and back, and I accept this, and I hope you do too, but if not, it's all good. We will catch you on the flip side. Bye!